Hi, it's Elaine. 2 announcements before you jump into this episode. First one is that for reasons that I still don't quite understand, I start the episode by singing. I think it might have been late and maybe I was a bit tired. So apologies in advance for that. That's coming up shortly. The second thing is that we spoil episodes 1 to 5 of Alien Earth and we forget to say that at the top of the show. So please don't listen to this spoiler podcast, as it turns out to be, until you've watched episodes 1 to 5. Then please come back and join us. It's an interesting discussion between me and Mark. Whoa, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an alien on Earth. And there you are, Mark. That's what's been going through my head for how many weeks now? Is it 5 weeks? Are we on episode 5?
Yes, we are.
And did you enjoy that?
I'm so glad it was in your head for that time and not...
not outwards.
Yes.
It's a shame I feel the need to sing on the podcast. It's a thing I didn't think would happen 5.5 years ago when we started this. I did not think I'd be singing quite so much. But
there's worse things you could do on there. So
there are worse things I could do than go with a boy or two.
Is that from Oliver Twist?
Come on. Oh, shut up. No, Mark. It's from Grease.
I know.
Mark purposefully gets the musicals mixed up for me. Although you were in some sort of show at school, weren't you, where they did do a mix-up of like Annie and Oliver, and that's why you have this weird sort of concoction of the musicals.
Oh, so we did Oliver at school. I was Mr. Bromler.
Mr. Brownlow.
Mr. Brownlow, yeah. Sorry.
Now I'm thinking, is it Mr. Brownlee? But no,
no. That's the triathletes.
That's what I'm thinking.
But yeah, we did Hard Knock Life as part of that.
See, that's what I mean. Annie.
Where is Love? Is that from?
That's from Oliver.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. We also did. We did Pinocchio. But because we didn't want to have cruelty to whales because it was the mid-80s and that was the problem. I mean, this is reminiscent of our time. So I was too young to play like a main role. So I played, looking back, this is crazy for a primary school kids thing. So Pinocchio didn't set fire to the whale and...
No, and hurt the whale.
Yeah. No, he called the Whale Busters.
Of course he did.
So we made our own proton packs and...
It's the 80s.
Yes. And like made little symbols of whales with a red cross through them.
That's so sweet. Actually thinking about it, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
But then what did the Whale Busters do to the whale? Did they put their proton packs on him? Do not cross the streams.
I think, yes. So they spat out Pinocchio or something like that.
Oh, okay. Right. He didn't burst into...
That is conjecture.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you for sure.
They didn't slide the trap out and the whale went into the trap and...
No.
Now the whale lives in an apartment in New York.
When I was Mr. Bromler, is that Brownlow?
Brownlow, possibly.
Yeah, I was on stage with the girl who didn't play Nancy, who's Nancy's friend?
Bess. I think. Bess or Beth.
I had a scene with her and she forgot her lines. Mm-hmm. And the director prompted me rather than her. Oh. I knew her lines back to front because I did. And then afterwards she came up and apologised and said, I knew that you'd take it better than her. Oh. I mean, I'm here at 45.
I'm not entirely sure that, yeah.
Damn you, Lindsay, you didn't remember your lines.
And also that teacher. Yeah. Anyway, Alien Earth.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're here to talk about. And we've been away for a little while. And we didn't mean to go away, but then we had the 6-week school holidays. And who knew that the podcasting would go to just out of the window, essentially, because... sleep went out the window, life went out the window, structure went out the window.
We did take our recorder on holiday with a view to do this.
We did. That was going to be my next point. I was going to go full disclosure. We took the recorder and the microphones on holiday, despite having no room in the car. We took it with us, and then it sat on a chair
while we were in a hot tub.
While we were in a hot tub. And I did say one night, she said, should we record? And then the bubbles of the hot tub were calling. And I did think at one point, I said to you, didn't I? Should we go outside? Should we do it outside like those really like good podcasts do? Like they'll go out and they'll have the bird, the crickets chirping or, all of that sort of thing.
There were no crickets chirping.
All right. The bubbling of the hot tub then in the background, it'll be all like ambient noise. And you were like, no. I think you said something rather sweary.
I don't want to be those guys who are they recording a podcast next door? Like, no one wants to be next door to those people.
Yeah, it's true. Especially us and our loud voices.
Yes.
So we have been watching Alien Earth. I had known about it for a while, but you came home one day and said, "Have you heard about this new show?" And I was all smug, going, "Yes, I have heard of it, actually."
Yeah, typically I will find out these things later, and you'll go, "I've been talking about these for like 2 years." Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah, I've been really excited about this. I heard about this like quite a while ago now, and I've read lots of interviews about it, and I saw sort of like a teaser trailer and other things, and I think I must have mentioned it in passing at some point in time, but I don't think it has been widely shared. And I think I've only picked up on it because I'm a really big fan of the Alien franchise. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit worried about Alien coming to TV because we've all seen Alien versus Predator and all.
I mean, I haven't.
That was going to be my next point. I have. So I've got a lot of emotional attachment to Alien, and I had like the box set with all the 4 films that that were out at the time: Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. And I watched those on repeat during times where I needed comfort. I would go through and I would select one.
Yeah.
Like, right, I would even do, like, I would pick it. I would do, like, oh, that one. And I would do, just randomly, oh, it's Alien 3 today. And I'd put that on in, like, times of trouble.
Yes.
And that would be something that was a great source of comfort to me, as a lot of pop culture is. So I really like those films, and I like the fact that they're so distinct. Aliens is my favourite out of the 4. I really liked Alien Romulus. We talked about that on the podcast. But I come to it with a lot of baggage, but you don't. I don't think.
No, I don't. I've seen Alien and Aliens like 2 or 3 times, like obviously because the classics. I've not seen Alien 3. I've seen Alien 4, which kind of annoys me that I've seen that, but not that. But I went to cinema with it and then immediately joined the queue to go see Blair at the Hull Ice Arena.
Okay.
So, I mean, what are you going to do? Not go see Alien Resurrection? I've seen Prometheus. I've seen Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
I like the first 2.
Have you seen Alien Covenant? That was the one after Prometheus.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
You're actually quite up to date.
In fact, I forgot about Romulus.
Yeah.
So yeah. I really like Alien Romulus. Yeah.
It's just 3 and the Predator sort of spin-offs that you haven't seen.
But I don't hold any of the lore close to my heart. Like, I am aware of the cliches. I'm aware of the set pieces from certainly the first 2 films. I couldn't really tell you much about Alien Resurrection. I really enjoyed Alien Romulus, but yeah, like when I hear people talking about the Wayland Corporation and stuff like that, I'm like, I know what it's from, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. And there's obviously a lot of lore around that is built in this.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about my Weyland-Yutani jumper that I hung up this morning back in the old wardrobe. So the other thing, so when people talk about Alien Earth, they're thinking, oh wow, a TV show with Alien in, that's one on one hand. But the other thing that was getting a lot of attention was the fact that this was a Noah Hawley show.
Yes.
And I knew of Noah Hawley. I knew of the shows that he had done, like Legion and Fargo.
Yeah.
But Legion, I tried to watch a couple of episodes of and could not get into it. And that's based on X-Men, which, ish. Yeah, but, it really runs from that. And I thought, I would have loved that. And I could not. It was just too, I want to say, wacky.
I've really, really tried with Legion. I think I've got even through the first series and I've just been like, I couldn't really tell you what happened because it's just too much.
But then Fargo is something that's been really taken under the wing by a lot of people who, good TV critics will go on about Fargo and
me
and you and the anthology basis of Fargo meant that it could come back with a new cast and a new idea. And
so I really loved the first 3 series of Fargo. I think season 4 was a bit of a stretch for me. I didn't really enjoy that one as much, and I never actually bothered with season 5, which is considered to be a return to form by I think most people. But really enjoyed Fargo. So that's definitely where we I definitely don't hate everything Noah Hawley does.
So it seemed to me from the bit of reading that I did beforehand that Noah Hawley is very good at and is called upon to take existing IP and to utilise it for the small screen. Like the X-Men to Legion, like Fargo the film to Fargo.
I'd argue that Legion was never considered a success by anything, but
no, but you know what I mean. Like that seems to be what he's doing.
Yes,
and certainly with this is the biggest thing, isn't it? That the Alien franchise and going. But I knew nothing about the storyline of Alien Earth because the trailers really didn't give anything, especially like the early ones that I watched. It was essentially an alien turning into an Earth. That was it. So I didn't really know what was going to happen. I've gone in pretty cold with this. We've now seen 5 episodes and we haven't spoken about this show at all, apart from where I have not been able to keep things to myself on the sofa, and I've made lots of little comments, or there have been little moments, haven't there, of vocalization, and you have not returned the vocalizations, or there have been times where you have led me to believe from your facial expressions or the fact that you're writing notes that you are perhaps not enjoying this show as much as I have. This is our first opportunity to talk about it. We've waited for weeks to do this. I'm really excited to hear what you actually think of it. What are your thoughts on this show? That obviously you don't have any baggage with it. What do you think of it as a program?
Okay, so I think if you are a huge fan of the Alien films, I think you can probably shoehorn a lot of this into the lore that is established in the film. For me, I have an annoyance at the entire concept that a xenomorph is on Earth in the years before Alien and Aliens, and I come in with that baggage and I cannot get away from it. When people are using the term xenomorph, I don't know if that can be fitted into the to the actual films or anything like that, or if they're going to attempt to do that. But in my mind, I'm like, how are you using that term now? And I think as someone who probably 90% of the people who are watching this will probably be in the same position as me, seeing the films, have not scoured through every single bit of director's commentary to explain the background of every single shot. I can't be the only person who's in this situation. I have huge issues with the way this has been framed by, for some reason, Noah Hawley has made the decision to make so many of the principal actors adults playing children. And
children playing adults, you could say as well. Well, okay, no, but the character is a child, but played by an adult. But I see what you mean. You've got an adult actor playing a child in an adult's body. Got you.
And they are, apart with one exception, the most annoying characters I've ever seen, aside from Boy Cavalier, who I don't care about the animators that made Mr. DNA in Jurassic Park. I don't care about the architect who designed Nakatomi Plaza with the ducting. And I don't care about the history of corporations on Aliens Earth. When the difference between Prodigy and Weyland Yutani, stop wasting my time and show me Aliens fucking shit up. I also have... Look, the first episode, you were saying, "Wow, this looks so amazing."
Yeah.
And there's a crash a spaceship crash in the first thing, which looked to me like a sci-fi film.
Yes, and I said it looked amazing.
Yeah.
I think I said first of all the opening of the episode looked amazing because it really took me back to Alien and the production design. But I specifically said at that crash, I specifically said, "Wow, isn't this fantastic for TV?" And your face said, "No, Elaine, no, it's not."
And that is probably both of us coming in with our biases and our baggage on our shoulders. And I recognise that it's probably somewhere between that.
Yeah.
There are shots through the run of point of view shots in the first episode of people running through corridors, which look like an episode of Red Dwarf. And again, not a compliment, because that was made in 1989 and on the BBC rather than Fox. To be fair, that's got better. But another of the problems that I have with this is so many of the characters have plot armor. We cut to scenes where the xenomorph has been in a room and we see like 10 people dead in 30 seconds and it's absolutely, it's destroyed them. But when we get a character that's actually got a name on the screen, oh yeah, it'll play around with that for a while. And that seems to repeat itself, that so much of the cool action that I want to see takes place off screen. Now, this episode that we saw yesterday as we're recording this, so episode 5, which is called In Space, No One Can. I thought was excellent. And that was what I want. Yeah. I want this extension of the Alien franchise in the way that I want it.
Yeah.
I don't want this extra stuff that Noah Hawley brings to it. And look, I'm carrying on watching it. Like, I think I'm getting enough out of it to, like you said to you, I think you put your pet lip out and said, well, should I just watch this by myself then?
There was some sighing going on, and I just felt like we were at totally different ends. Like, we were at one end of the sofa and you were at the other end, and I just felt like it was like a metaphor for how we were with this show. And also, I didn't want to say well, I wouldn't say I didn't want to make you, but I would never make you do anything and you would never feel like I was. But I didn't want you to feel that you had to watch it with me if you were hating it and it was a hate watch. No. Because then no one's enjoying that.
It's very, very far from a hate watch, but it's not it's not going to be my top 5 of the year unless I...
And you're not... I'm excited to see the next episode. I'm listening to all the podcasts about it. You are not doing that with this. Am I right in thinking that?
I actively delete podcasts that appear on my feed. Yeah, because
really?
Because I don't care about the law. Like, I know that they will be talking about, this refers to that thing that happened in the background shot of Alien.
I think you're being harsh there.
So I don't care enough about any of the characters or plot to want to listen to
an
hour or two of someone talking about it. Yeah. It's fine when it's on screen, but once this show finishes on a Wednesday night, I wish to spend no further time with it. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
So how do you think of it?
It just sounds like you want me to watch it by myself.
No, because I'm enjoying it in the moment. But for me, for me, I enjoy the sci-fi horror elements of it in the same way that I quite enjoy watching American Horror Story for when it was good. For the horror elements, I don't need to listen to a podcast unpacking that. It's just a bit of a guilt watch for me. So what do you think of it?
I have actually some very complicated feelings around it. I feel like it's lots of different shows in one. So you're right, we have this idea of the corporations, we have this idea of what's happening in the future and the way that the world has been divided up between corporations and that governments no longer exist. We have this idea of synths and synthetics and the sort of the next step in synthetics, in that you can put someone's brain or someone's consciousness into a new body, and they've done that with children because they've said that it's easier for the child mind to go over to the adult body. So we've got that plot point going on there with this guy Boy Cavalier, as you say, who is like this proto Musk type figure, I think, or Zuckerberg. I think they're this young lad, this person they keep calling the boy genius, and they've got this theme of Peter Pan running through that. Go on, you're wanting to say something?
No. So if we're talking about Boy Cavalier, I can't help but feel a theory about this.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like, so why have we had his name obscured for?
What do you mean obscured?
His name is not surely Boy Cavalier.
Yes, it is. It's
no.
Boy Cavalier.
First name Boy, second name Cavalier.
Yeah, with a capital K. Okay.
Okay, that annoys me even more then.
Adrian, what's his face, is in as someone called Atom. Like, they've all got futuristic names. Adrian Edmondson, that's a... Yeah. They all have interesting names in the future.
I feel there is going.
You think there's going to be
my
a
theory
reveal?
was that there was going to be a reveal of a name at some point.
Okay.
The only thing I could think of is the only person with any name value in this in the Alien franchise is probably Ripley. But I couldn't, and that was my fear.
I don't think Noah Hawley would do that. I genuinely don't think he would do that. I don't think he's gonna to get into the old Ripley.
If that happens, we are pulling an emergency podcast. The Zoom is coming straight out, and we are recording an emergency
hot
podcast.
Tub or no hot tub?
Where you apologise to me for.
I wouldn't apologise. So complicated. So you've got that going on. Then you've got the aliens and how the alien, because I mean, really, this should be called Aliens Earth, not Alien Earth. So you're right, you've got the xenomorph, but you've also got all these other creatures as well.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to that in a minute. Then you've got the sort of brother-sister relationship going on between Sydney Chandler's character, Wendy, or Marcy, as her original name was, and her brother Hermit. Then you've got these sort of... they're almost like the Marines in Aliens. So you've got that group of medics and people who rush into danger. I can't remember what they're called, but they go in and help out, which Hermit's part of, that sort of crew. So you've got all these things going on at once, and in the middle of it you've got the alien, the xenomorph, which to me is the least interesting part of the show. And when I think of Alien Earth now, I'm not really thinking about Alien as what I know as Alien. Does that make sense? Like, I've almost tried, and I don't know whether it's because I'm trying to forget, I've almost pushed it to one side that this isn't an Alien Xenomorph TV show. It is an Aliens from Distant Planets TV show, of which the Xenomorph is one of them. I have a problem with the way that the Xenomorph has been portrayed in the show. I think we see too much of it. I think there is a lot of man in a suit going on. It doesn't look like the original films. It's a bit like Jaws, isn't it? You don't want to see too much of the shark. We've learned this. There is
one point where it feels like... So I remember being in Edinburgh during the Fringe, and there was a guy in a xenomorph costume juggling, and it looked like that at one point. And it looked like that,
yeah. One of the excellent podcasts that I listen to, which is called Podmetheus, on their review of episode 5, they brought up this problem with the xenomorph, and they made the very good point that the original Alien, and actually even thinking all the way through to all the other iterations of the Alien, it was wet, it was dripping, it was, it was a dangerous thing. It didn't have this sort of matte plastic look to it. And at one point in the latest episode, I was just looking at it going, that's a very tall, slim man about to hold on to, like, with his hands in the suit, about to hold on to something and climb up it. That is what the Alien seems less scary to me in this TV show,
because all the bad stuff that's happening, and thinking back to, I think it was episode 2, where you see the guys having the sort of Georgian dinner party.
Yeah.
The alien goes in there and absolutely just destroys them all. All happens off screen. We see, it happened in episode 3, I believe, where there was someone who was behind a screen, and then you saw them pulled off and then destroyed. But we don't get to see it. So what we do see is, Smithy's xenomorph costume. But having said that, that is the part that I want to see. I want to see aliens killing people.
Well, I think you
I've
are.
got a list of the people I'd like to see off in order, to be honest.
Well, I think where you're getting that from and where you're getting the thing that I really enjoyed, the body horror and the sense of tension, especially in that episode 5 that we've just watched, which was a flashback episode, is through the other aliens. It almost seems like the show forgot that the xenomorph was off loose somewhere.
Yeah.
And if I think back to Alien, there was just one on that ship and everyone was terrified and it was going around and it was knocking people off. It was I can think of all the scenes
So were there more than one in Aliens?
Yes. Oh, Mark. You are so cruel. You are so cruel to me. Any new listeners, I'm autistic and I often take questions literally.
Yes.
Mark has just given you an example of that. I was just about to explain to you how there were all these eggs in an alien queen. Literally, I was like, how would I explain that to him? Anyway, let's go back to what I was saying. What was I saying? The other aliens. The other aliens are the thing that I'm most scared of. That thing with the eyeball one, terrifying.
Yeah.
The one that sucks all your blood out. The tension when one of them escaped and then put something in the water,
yes.
And then who's going to drink the water? But all of those things. That for me in that episode, I was like, this is a proper alien film. And yeah, as I've said, it's not an alien film with a xenomorph. It's an alien film with other, like that big one that's in a pod, and there's ones with wings that we keep seeing fluttering behind the containments as well. I wonder if that's going to come out in season 2. Like they are more interesting to me than actually, like you say, the man in the suit. And that's such a shame because it's really taken away the terror of the alien. I'm terrified of that. I should be. That's what the films have told me to be terrified of that alien. And now I feel if another alien film comes out, I'm going to be less terrified of it. And that's what I go to see. I want to be scared, and I want to, when I see people being scared of it, I want to feel that terror. So I really like the body horror. I really like the tension around the other aliens. So incrementally, incrementally is the wrong word. Separately, I'm really interested in this idea of taking ill and disabled children and giving them a new body. I think there's so many moral and ethical discussions we could have about that. And particularly, with our perspective, our child is disabled, and I felt really, I had a proper visceral reaction when one of the children was a wheelchair user, and she says, will I be able to walk again? Now, our child's a wheelchair user, and it's just that idea of, like, in inverted commas, curing people who are disabled or who are life limited. But then at the same time, if someone said to you, look, we can take your child's consciousness and put them in a body that would mean they would live forever, would you do it? All of those things. I think that's a really, really interesting thing to pick apart.
I think the problem is that it's shoehorned in with about 14 different other concepts that they're trying to play.
Yeah.
We haven't touched upon, the fact that there's a character, Morrow, that can apparently talk through his mind to one of the kids.
He's not talking through his mind. He at one point he puts a little a chip on his neck.
But that's how it represents itself. That's how it represents itself.
Okay.
I
think he's just using a microphone pet.
He's not, though, because there's not a microphone. He doesn't have. He's not like us now.
But he's a cyborg. So he's got a funny arm.
Oh, he's created there's people who can change machines just by touching them. How can they do that? I don't know. They just can.
They just can.
Like it feels like the Morrow talking to, I don't know what the character's name is, because all of these are very, very thinly drawn.
Oh, I don't think so. I think they've done a really good job of differentiating the, in inverted commas, children, and I know all of the names. Sorry, I knew as soon as I said that would sound like that. And I know all of the names, Mark. But his name is Slightly.
But the fact that he's talking in quiet and communicating when no one else knows and saying, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
It feels like it's an allegory for almost grooming and things like that.
Does. Oh, absolutely. I think you're right.
So it feels like he's throwing so many things against the wall here, and pick your two or three themes and go with it, and just there's just too much going on.
You know what you need to watch, love? You need to watch Alien 3. That's just got an alien running around killing people. That's what you're after.
I mean, that is what I want. Yeah. I mean, like, I understand that you need to stretch this out to 8 hours of a TV show, so you need to have some subplots. And it's got one of the McGann
brothers in. That's exciting.
Has it got Brian Glover in it?
Yes, it does.
Wrestler Brian Glover.
Yes, I think it does. Yes.
Yeah.
It's got quite a few people in it. But I won't spoil it.
Maybe I'll watch it again. And
we should say it. Well, there's lots of different versions of it because obviously, famously, David Fincher has decided he doesn't want to be involved with it.
I'll watch the film.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say about Alien Earth? I see you looking at your notes. What else have you got? And is it just you going, and this bit I don't like, and this bit I don't like?
No, I mean, can we talk about the Peter Pan imagery?
Yeah, go on.
Is this a coincidence that this is created by FX, which is owned by the Disney Corporation, which owns Peter Pan?
I think it is. I genuinely think it is. Yeah.
You genuinely think it's a coincidence?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then
next thing.
This is not a good advert for Peter Pan.
Next one. They keep on trying to make Ice Age a thing.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry. They do.
People don't talk about Ice Age now. They're not going to be talking about it in 100 years' time or whenever that's going to be.
I know. Yeah, that is funny.
Ice Age, which was produced by Fox, which is now owned by the Disney Corporation.
Okay. Fair enough. The Peter Pan imagery is too much. I really like the story of Peter Pan. It's really dark. It's the idea of the Lost Boys. It's the idea of children. I think it's a allegory for dead children. You know, like the children die, they never grow up, they go to the Never land. And I've always found it very emotional, particularly given our circumstance of bereaved parents. And the whole idea, you can fly. And I had the tape when I was a kid, and I used to listen to, turn the page, or it's a dark.
Sorry, you just went with a lot of different noises. Yeah.
Did I go off somewhere?
You mean one of the ones where you get a tape and a book, and it says, "When you hear this noise, turn the page."
And the crocodile and Captain Hook, and I think it's really interesting that Captain Hook is typically played by the actor that plays Mr. Darling, the father, when it's when people are acting it, and so I really like this. I think there's a lot to dig into the story of Peter Pan. This just is too much, and also it doesn't really mean anything now. Now we're 5 episodes in.
Oh yeah,
it just doesn't mean anything. They've renamed these kids. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they then one of the children wants to call himself a different name, like Isaac, named after Isaac Newton. I question why he doesn't just want to call himself his actual name. Some of them are really into this idea of this new personality. Some of the children are not very well, and I'm mixed. I'm mixed on it. I like the ideas. I want to talk to you about the ideas of, putting the mind into the body, and whether it's capable of existing in that way. But at the same time, I just feel like we've gone so far away from Alien Earth.
I'd like the TV show to talk about it, to be perfectly honest, whereas it just doesn't. Like, I agree that there's absolutely things in that would be an interesting TV show, and something that could, if that was the one thing that could go along with it, and I wouldn't have my entire 2/3 of my entire main cast to be played by adults, essentially doing Kevin and Perrying.
I think you're being quite cruel, but I think they're trying really hard.
Yeah,
because it would be weird if they suddenly took on like new body language and they talked in a different way when that's their consciousness.
But so in the first episode, they're put in essentially a crash site with aliens, and they're walking around going wee dee 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 being, yeah. I don't think they're giving it the gravitas that that a child would in that situation. It's very hello fellow kids.
Come on then, what else have you got? We said we'd only do 20 minutes and we're past half an hour now.
I wish I had more. I wish I had more to say, other than I'm really upset that Timothy Olyphant is spectacularly shit in this.
People are saying that he's one of the best things, along with the guy who plays Morrow. I'd forgotten about Timothy Olyphant. See, there's just too much, isn't there? Forgotten about Timothy Olyphant.
He's not Raylan Gibbons in this.
Okay, well, that's a shame, isn't it, darling?
Yeah, it's not a performance that endears me to him more.
Okay. I think he's really interesting. Like, which side is he on? Is he a Weyland-Yutani spy? Is he who's he for? You know, and what's he doing listening into, you know, these secret conversations, and is he gonna help slightly to carry out the plan that Morrow wants him to do? I'm really interested in Yutani and
I don't care about any side of that part of the plot.
Okay. Should we bring it to a close then?
Let's do that.
So, big recommendation from me for all the lovely things that you can say. I think it's beautifully done. I think the production design is for me, it's a for all of my caveats with it, it's a 4-star show for me so far. I've heard it gets better. I know lots of people were talking about this latest episode 5 and saying they'd had screeners and said that it was really good, and I was looking forward to that. I'm really interested to see how it goes. I find it a really I find it a really discursive show. I want to talk to people about it. I have lots of issues flying around, but a lot of that comes from the baggage. I think you are tolerating it is what I'm taking.
No. This is... I think there's a really, really good show in there. I just wish that I didn't have to peel back about 4 different subplots to get to where I want to be. Like, of the 5 hours that we've seen so far, I think, well, take out the last episode, which was set in a different place, different time, which I thought was excellent. Mm-hmm. Of the 4 hours that I've seen before, I've maybe seen an hour and a half that I really, really wanted to investigate more, and then the rest where I'm waiting for that bit to end to get to the next bit that I want.
Okay. Shall I sing again?
No one else is listening now, are they? So, yeah.
A little bit of Sting. Right, let's call it a day.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.